What is up, my friends? How is it going? Listen, it might be a little bit of a shorter stream, I'll be honest with you, because not a lot of lines are out. Looks like we're waiting on a lot of news for tomorrow, but I wanted to get us started and get us some early looks at the slate, get some action on some lines before they move. First off, the good. Look at that. We smashed home the underdog slip, the two-man, the first quarter rebounds for Jabari Smith, and the over higher than first quarter points for Michael Porter Jr. Both cashed in the two-man. I told you I loved it, and there was a reason for it. Now, the annoying, the bad, as they say. Billy Donovan rolls out DeMar DeRozan for only 24 minutes in a 10-point game that they lose in. DeMar DeRozan doesn't play the entire fourth quarter. Yep, that's betting in a nutshell, ladies and gentlemen. And that is why, if you've been watching my videos, I said end of the NBA season is volatile. It's a weird time. Play light because NBA playoffs are coming. MLB is coming. Golf is here. Football will be right around the corner before we know it. And my goodness, save your bankroll for when it really matters. Save your bankroll for when when the plays are making sense. All right. Now, the first play that I want to get into and talk about is Steph Curry over 26.5 points. I love this spot. I don't care that Indiana only allows 11 3-pointers per game, first in the league. I don't care that at all. It doesn't matter to me. Steph is the greatest shooter in the history of the game, and he made 11 against them in February. The over 4.5 line is juiced at a -140. If this line is set correctly and it maybe even bumps to a 5.5 line and Steph goes and makes 5 3-pointers, what happens? Well, let me tell you what happens. He has hit the over when making 5+ 3-pointers in 78% of the games on the season. He would hit the over 26.5 point game, 26.5 points in 78% of those games, 25 out of 32, and he has an 83% hit rate at home. Give me all the over 26.5 points for Steph Curry. Now, this line is available for a -120 on DraftKings. And if you want to play it on underdog, it is available at 26.5 points. You can play the higher on underdog. PrizePicks has it bumped. PrizePicks not going to give it to you. Look at that right there. 27.5 points on PrizePicks currently. So play the 26.5 either on the books or on underdog. And if you're going to play it on underdog, I have a deal for you. 100% deposit match using code Hulk. I will put the link in the description. Up to $100. You'll get $100 free. So you put in $100, underdog is going to give you $100. Now, along with that, you can take that over 26.5 Steph Curry points, and you're going to get a promo play to use in your entry. That'll be Nikola Jokic over 0.5 points. Play those two together, get free money, get a free win to start you off on underdog using code Hulk. I will put the link in the description. I will pin it to the first comment on this video. All right, you already know if you've been watching the videos, you know what segment's next. But first, if you're watching the video, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment on the video. I greatly, greatly appreciate it. Let's get into plays that are yes, these are plays that are up in the air, plays I'm not ready to pull the trigger on. Listen, it's 11 o'clock Eastern time on Thursday night. If you think I'm going to roll out 5 official picks when there's only 1 or 2 games with lines out, you're out of your mind. However, I will try to guide you on the slate and point you in a direction, essentially, of where I think I will be headed. And the first play here, and really the main play I want to discuss here, is Cade Cunningham. Cade Cunningham, you see it on the screen. Let me just blow it up for you so you can really see it. Cade Cunningham, over 6.5 assists. Now, he has hit this line in 9 of the last 10 games, with the only miss coming March 13th against Toronto, where he got 6. He got hooked. And Cade has 14.2 potential assists over the last 10 games, and he is smashing this line. He has scored 9, 9, 10, 11, 8, all in the last couple of games. This is a line that he has been clearing with ease. I'm not really overly concerned with the matchup. Yes, there is a blowout potential here. However, I do think there's a chance that Boston decides to sit one or two of their players in this game, which makes me like this even more for Cade. I think if they can keep this close and Cade can get his normal run of 32, 33 minutes, I think he has no problem clearing this line. The odds are juiced here. The odds are juiced. So I'm not going to take the juice. I'm not going to sip that juice. No, don't sip that juice. Don't play this like a sucker at minus 145. Parlay it with something like OKC money line. Another one that we had been parlaying it with for a while was the Kawhi Leonard over 2+ assists. Don't sip that juice and play it at minus 145. That's crazy. Find something you like, find something with good odds and parlay it together. These two plays right here get you a minus 123. That I'm okay with if you're going to do it, guys. Don't bet foolish like this. Don't just, sure, is it likely to happen? Yeah, the odds are, that's baked into it. That's why it's a minus 145. But you don't want to be given that much back and win $6 profit on a $10 bet. Don't do it. Just don't do that, okay? All right, now a couple of other things that I'm interested in are what's going on with Brandon Ingram. He hurt his knee tonight, maybe hyperextended it, bent it in the wrong way. So we're gonna have to wait on news for that for this Pelicans and Heat game. I'm very curious to see what happens there. I think that there's some potential for a guy like Herbert Jones to get into one of my, to find his way into my plays. Someone I'll have a little bit of interest in, maybe some Zion, as Zion's a guy that's been really, really hot lately, playing really extremely well. And Philadelphia and the Lakers is another game I'm looking to target. Maybe a LeBron. I want to see what his points are set at. If they're 24.5, I have some interest potentially in the over. Tyrese Maxey's a guy I'm going to be looking at. And if you're going to be trying to bet on the Celtics or OKC, if you're going to bet on either one of those games, really, just keep an eye out, especially in the OKC game, for maybe you want to point your direction in like first half lines. Shai's line is interesting. He plays the entire first quarter rotation. I don't love his over on 10.5, believe it or not, which is surprising. I think he's hit the under in 9 straight games. He's hit the under in 10 straight games on that under 10.5 first quarter points line. Let me go ahead and see if I can pull this up here. Yeah, I think if you're going to try to bet on OKC, I think you just want to be careful, particularly in this game, as there is a blowout potential. Maybe look at something like Shai's under first quarter points at 10.5, which is surprising to hear me say the under. I'm sure you're shocked. You thought I was going to go over. However, he hasn't hit this line in 10 straight games. It's a minus 135 for a reason right now on DraftKings. He has been under in 10 of his last 10. He plays the first quarter. I get it. He plays all 12 minutes in the first quarter. However, this line has a 63% hit rate to the under. The problem is, the reason it's not an official pick is just it's such an easy matchup. Literally such an easy matchup. However, Toronto is giving up the third fewest points per game to opposing point guards at 22.1. But just like the Curry line, Shai is a little bit of a different player. He's an outlier. He is a bona fide superstar in this league. So I just want to think about it a little bit more. I just want to see if I can dive a little bit more into the data. He has been under in their one head-to-head game this year. Only scored 4 against Toronto in February. So the more I talk about it, I really am leaning to the under here. But before I make it official, I just want to take a look at this. But that's another direction I think you can go. I think also if you want to play something else on this slate, I have some interest in the LeBron James prop. I'm curious to see if his line opens at 24.5 or 25.5. There's no odds out for this line right now, but that's something I'm going to be looking at. So what I really wanted to do is just give you some direction on the slate. Decide whether or not you guys want to make these plays. Take a look at what I said, do a little bit of your own research, and make a decision. But like I said before, I recommend maybe considering a half unit, as the end of the season is very volatile and things are just weird. Just odd things are happening. Coaches are doing weird things with rotations. They're maybe getting certain guys a little bit more rest, preparing for the playoffs and stuff too. So keep that in mind and keep your bankroll intact. Listen, guys, as I said, it might be a little bit of a shorter video. I can only do so much. The lines aren't out. The data's not out there. I'm waiting on some games to wrap up. And I might try to do a live stream in the morning tomorrow. So if you're watching this video overnight, Stay tuned to the channel. I might end up going live about 7:40 Eastern time tomorrow. Either way, listen, I love being in here with you guys. I love that you guys have been so receptive to these videos, and let's get that money.